Evening chaps, so about to dyno the Fantom, excuse the mess, it's all going on here, and we'll see how she fares. So that's some tests I've been doing with new lipos and old lipos. So if I pull up the chart, so I went to Sid Cup last night and raced, and the motive was pretty phenomenal. Came off really cold, and it was really quick. So that was a useful evening's racing. So this is the difference between old lipo and new lipo. So you can see the new lipo at the top. So that's the RPM difference, pretty much nothing. Spool time the same. You can see the torque is pretty much the same, and the efficiency is pretty much the same. So 49.6 to 52.8. So I've been running that lipo, the bottom one, for 6 months, and the top one was new yesterday. I got it off of Zen. It's the silverback. So from those numbers, there's not much in it. So the IR of the old pack was 2.6 and the IR of the new pack was 1.6. So no real gain there, really, if those numbers are right. Anyway, so got the Fantom in. She's in, and this is the first live run. So let's see how we go. If you want to ask any questions, feel free, but last time for some reason the questions didn't come up, so I don't know why that is, but if you are asking questions, I'll ask them on the feed afterwards. So let's clear that data. Let's switch her on. Is she on already? No, I don't think she is. She's not plugged in, so okay. So we're running. Battery charged. This is the old lipo. What I've done to start with, I've set it exactly the same as the motive. So on my motive, I ran it last night at 42 degrees on the end of the can, and I ran it at 70.6, and it went really well. So I'm just going to copy that. Obviously, you know that all motors are different, but it's a good start point, and we'll see how we go. So let's have a look at that data and bring that data up. And I'll tell you what I'll do, I'll bring up the data of the motive, see how that fares. So that's with the, open that up. So what we can see so far, get the print preview up, get some data up here. So you can see it. So RPM wise, it is down 200 RPM. The torque is nuts and bolts the same, no difference, and the efficiency is slightly better, but again, nothing to split the difference. So that's just the starters. So what I might do now is let's go, seeing as it's efficient, let's turn the timing up and see what that does. So I'll go from 42, which is on at the moment, and I'll flick it on to where's my wrench? There it is. Just bear with us 1 second. So I'll add a couple of degrees timing. Slightly irritating that the timing is hidden. So let me just pull that out and get it spot on. Sorry if you've not got the best view at the moment, but the problem of only being a one-man band. Have to put that down. Just 1 second, chaps. Okay, thanks for waiting. So I've turned it up a couple of degrees, and let's see what that does. So Bradley, you said about an old motor from last year. I haven't, if you know me, I haven't got any motors that are more than about 3 weeks old. So if you've got a couple of old motors, then feel free to send them to me, but I don't own old motors. So anyway, so what I'll do is, let me just see. So the second one is, so I'll just save that first test, and that is GT12 Fantom in fact V3R, and that was at 70.6 and 42 on the can with a 42.3 tyre size. I always put the tyre size in. That's a bit anal maybe, but some of you might like it anally. So that's that saved. So so that's that. So let me now run. Okay, and let me take off the Fantom, the GTR, the MCR. Let me just take that off. Good. Okay, so this is the run at 42 degrees of the Fantom. And test one. Let's go again. Well, from my humble experience of dynoing, the RPM on pretty much every motor has gone up when I've increased it by a couple of degrees. So you can see that for the extra 2 degrees I've got no RPM gain, well 30 RPM, nothing. Torque has remained pretty much the same, it's gone up a fraction, but can you see that the efficiency has gone right down? So it's 41.8. So that would tell me, from my experience, going up on that timing is not working out, because I'm losing efficiency and I'm getting nothing for it. So far the Fantom has got less RPM than the MCR. So what I'll do is I'm going to go back down to, I'm going to go to 40 degrees and see what that produces. So if you can bear with me, I will just go through that rigmarole of changing the timing. So 2 seconds. It looks like I can see questions, so if you've got any questions, fire them up and I'll do my best to answer them. So that's now back to 40 degrees on the can. So I'm just going to save run 2, GT V3R, and I'll just adjust that to, that was 44 degrees. Save that. Okay, so run 3 then will be I've not got up to 50 or 52 yet, Jeff, no. So here we go, here at 40 degrees. Okay. So we got obviously less. We've got less RPM, 100 RPM. We've got a drop off of torque, and actually it's still not very efficient at 42 degrees. John, I'm running at 70 rollout at the moment. So yeah, again, you can see that this is a process that takes a little bit of time. I'm just sticking it at one rollout and just finding a bit of a sweet spot for that rollout. So 52.9 efficiency at 5018 is clearly the best spot at the moment. You can see we're fiddling around with the timing. Jeff says 50-52. So I tell you what, let's go up 10 degrees, let's go to 50 degrees, and what the hell, let's see what happens. So we're up at 50 degrees. So we're up at 50. John, boom, yeah. Possibly. Well, it's only money, John. So 50 degrees, and I just want to save that third run. That was down at 40 degrees, wasn't it? So going over, once you find a sweet spot, once it's on the track under variable conditions, how much does heat play a part in the emotions? Yeah, I think heat plays a big role, Gary, but I think the efficiency has certainly sets a precedent as to how hot that motor is going to get, so that has an effect. But so let's just clear that off, clear all of that off. But what I'll do is I'll keep up the very first one to give us a gauge. So that was the best one, ironically. Okay, so here we are at 20 degree, at 50 degrees timing, so we've gone up 10 degrees. Hold on tight. Oh, hit the wrong one. Let's just do that again. Okay, so auto test. There we go. Graham, this is torque and RPM, kV torque. So look at the graph now. So we moved it up 10 degrees, and look at the current draw on the graph here at the top here. Can you see? If I just bring up, just to show you what's going on with the MCR, which is what I run yesterday, just to give you an idea. Open that up in test run 3. 42. So you can see that we just tested that with 10 degrees more timing, so that's at 50. That's this top line here, that's the amps and the voltage that it pulled, so that's obviously going to be fairly inefficient. We'll have a look in a minute. Now down at the bottom, this is the RPM. The purple line that you see here is the MCR. The orange one is the Fantom that I just turned up 10 degrees, and that was the Fantom timed at what it was previously, matching the MCR. So you can see that if we then open up the print preview, so the second test, the test #2 there, that's the one at 50 degrees timing on the can for the Fantom. If we go across and we look at torque is slightly higher. So the top one is the setup the same as the MCR. The middle one is when we turned it up to 50 degrees, and then the bottom one is the MCR that I ran last night. But if we cut across to the right hand side here, can you see how inefficient that middle one is? So the middle one is 38% fairly inefficient. Well, not fairly inefficient, it's really inefficient. So it would be getting smoking hot running it like that. So you can see that this has just all been done on one rollout, and this was at 70.6, and I just moved the timing around. So I did 40, 42, 44 and 50, and it's really, you can see that this rollout anyway, it's not working. The motor's not, you're just not going to get anything out of it. It's going to get hot and it's going to be slow. so more fiddling needs to be done. 48, 49, Jeff, not going to be, no point in doing that, it'd be pointless. So hopefully that's given you an insight, gives you an idea of, I think, you know, you guys out there know that I am sort of a bit of a Zen fan, but the MCI, you can see, is a really good motor. So if I was you, I would pick one up, and if you want me to dyno one for you, there'll be a cost going forwards on this. It's going to be £10 or £15 plus postage. If that's something that interests you, drop me a line. But it's still work in progress, but I've got a fairly decent handle on where these motors are performing. So I hope you found it useful, and have a good evening. And if I don't see you all, have a good Christmas, and thanks for watching.